I'm Judge Faith Jenkins, and this is Divorce Court. All kinds of couples with problems come to me for advice.
Can I be in a relationship with someone that I really don't trust? Trust is lost in buckets and gained in drops.
Others need a lighter touch.
It's only been 3 years. You've been back together 7 hours and 12 minutes. I hope you can make it to dinner.
But most people just need some of my tough love.
You're problematic on many levels. You know nothing about commitment, monogamy, integrity, and loyalty.
Now, join me in Divorce Court for today's case.
Toy and Robert met 2 years ago. Robert was persistent and eventually charmed his way into her life. After 14 months of dating, they got married. COVID hit, and that's when the red flags did too. Toy says Robert's addictions are ruining their marriage. That's today's case on Divorce Court.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, as you know, we have a virtual audience and it's filled with your superfans. Today's superfan of the day is Angelo from Los Angeles, California.
Angelo, welcome to Divorce Court. We're so happy to have you with us.
Your Honor, this is the case of Green versus Green.
Thank you, Juan. Miss Toy Green?
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
have brought your husband, Mr. Robert Green,
Yes, Your Honor.
to Divorce Court today. The two of you have been together for 2 years, married for only 10 months.
Yes, Your
And you are already here.
Yes.
Because you
Your
say
Honor.
there are a number of problems you want to discuss
Yes, Your
before
Honor.
you decide if you're going to stay together or go your separate ways.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll hear from you first, Miss Green. Tell me what's going on.
Your Honor, I'm here today with my husband because I found out he's a compulsive serial liar. He's absolutely too friendly for my liking. He's a male gigolo, and he has way too many addictions.
When you say way too many addictions, what do you mean?
He has a porn addiction. He has a drug addiction. He has a female addiction. I mean, it's just too much. We're here to build a life together and start prospering, and he wants to be held up with all his addictions and his male gigolo activity.
And what do you have to say about that, Mr. Green?
Basically, yes, I messed up in the past. And as far as the male gigolo, because I see your face, as far as that is concerned, that was something I did in my past. That was something, it's nothing since we've been married or since we've been together. As far as getting women numbers, yes, that was a problem for me. I am trying to make my relationship work. I want to be with my wife, and I do love my wife. I really do. I'm 31. I just feel like I just do dumb things at the wrong times, really.
What does that have to do with you being 31 years old?
I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm saying I'm not gonna be the perfect man off the bat. I'm not.
Well, you don't have to be perfect, but you do have to walk in your purpose when you decide to get married, right, Mr. Green?
Yes, Your Honor.
So here you are, you're 31 years old enough to know what you're doing when you decide to get married, right?
Yes,
So
Your Honor.
let's not use age as an excuse for anything that's going on between the two of you, because you just got married 10 months ago. So you say he has all of these addictions, and I want to talk about that, but you got married 10 months ago. You didn't know about anything that you're accusing him of prior to marrying
Well, I
him?
was aware of certain things, but I didn't realize that it would actually be something that hinder us. I didn't realize how upset it would make me. Then once I'm upset, we can't have a decent conversation. You know, like with the porn addiction, Your Honor. It's times where I fall asleep and he'll say, yeah, I fell asleep too. And I'm like, hey, we were supposed to do something last night. He's like, yeah, I fell asleep. And then I go through the phone and he's on live porn all night. So I'm like, you're on live porn, but you fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's up with that? And then
Why do you say it's an addiction?
he started an overnight job. And he works this job from 7 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. I know that he likes to watch porn. So I'm like, Robert, are you at your job watching porn? He's like, no. So one morning he comes home from work and I just so happen to go through his phone and
You just so happen to go through his phone.
Yeah. I mean, I go through the phone every day. I'm a phone go-througher. I'm gonna go through the phone. So when I went through the phone, he's on porn all night. He works from 7:30 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. So you're on porn at 1:23, 2:14.
So you've seen a
3:11.
pattern, is what you're saying?
Yes, and I'm like, when is it gonna turn into some real action? Like, how long is this porn fetish even gonna be satisfying for you? Like,
So what's going on, Mr. Green? Is what she's saying true?
I mean, I'm not gonna deny. So yes, it is true.
What do you do for a living?
I work on an assembly line.
You work on an assembly line.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're watching porn at the same time?
No, ma'am. Not while I'm standing right there on the assembly line working. No, ma'am.
During your breaks?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Do you think you have a problem?
Yes, ma'am. I'll
you
admit that.
do?
Yes, ma'am.
How long has this been an issue for you, sir?
Since I knew how to masturbate, so I'm gonna say about 9, 10.
So this is something that an addiction is going much further, because that means that it's something that you can't control, right? You have no impulse control when it comes to this. Is this something that you discussed with Ms. Green prior to the two of you getting married?
No, ma'am. I mean, I used to be a porn actor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So as far as me used to do that, I didn't even discuss any of that. I was trying to, you know.
I found out that
I was
through a
kind of
family
embarrassed.
member.
You were embarrassed about that, but you said your relative told her.
We were just at the house chilling one night, and he's like, hey, did you know Robert used to be a porn star? I'm like, what? He said, yeah, his name was Romeo Payne. I'm like, and I mean, I didn't find it to be a problem.
Because that was in his past.
Yeah, it was in his past. And I told him, anything from your past does not define our future, but it does let me know what type of character you have. You know what I'm saying? It does. And I didn't want to be judgmental. I wanted to work with him. I wanted to build with him. I wanted us to grow. It doesn't matter if he has sex or not. One night, we had just finished having sex, and I wanted to go get something to eat for us. He was playing his game. I'm like, I'm gonna go get something to eat. I went to the car, realized I left my phone inside. By the time I came back inside, he's watching porn.
Well, I mean, he admits now that he has a problem. He
Yeah.
has an issue. So, and you're telling me, Miss Green, that before the two of you got married, you did not see the signs.
I didn't see that it would be a problem. I thought
Okay, so
it
you
was
saw the
kinda-
signs, but you chose to overlook them, which is what people
Do.
choose to do, because you're splitting hairs here. Because that's really important. Now that the two of you are in a relationship, his drug addiction is causing so many issues.
I thought maybe he was like a recreational user.
Ms. Green, you decided, yes, these are red flags, but I'm gonna see how red these red flags are.
My childhood and what I've been through, I'm still stuck in that 11-year-old mind frame.
What do you mean by that?
You have to tell her.
I was.
There's also a drug issue, and that's cocaine. Is that true as well?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you struggled with an addiction to cocaine?
5, 6 years.
How often are you using?
Okay, before we got married, I would use 8 ball a day.
There's a lot going on here, Mr. Green. I haven't even gotten to, ask you about what your issues are in the relationship, because I'm unpacking all of this that's happening. And what do you say has happened? Why his drug addiction is causing so many issues?
At first, I wasn't concerned because I thought maybe he was like a recreational, like social type user.
Ms. Green, so you just really chose to overlook a lot of things.
I chose to not be judgmental. I just came from such a bad situation. I didn't want to be the woman scorned with the bad attitude, just being so judgmental when I dealt with someone who didn't tell me about their addiction.
Ms. Green, there's a difference between you not being judgmental and you being a prudent person and making a responsibility to who you want to make a lifelong commitment to.
You're right.
Because you decided, yes, these are red flags, but I'm gonna see how red these red flags are, right?
You're absolutely right, Your Honor.
It really makes a difference when you already know and you go into the marriage and then you're here because all these issues, all of these problems, what do we do now? You make better decisions before you make the lifelong decision to marry someone who you know is struggling with addiction, because he needs help, obviously, and you are not the person to help him. It's professional help. Because not only is it porn, you say, not only is it drugs, but you say it's also video games.
Yes, he consumes himself with playing video games. He won't do his housework. He won't tend to the dog. He won't eat. I mean, I have to force feed him.
What is going on with you, Mr. Green? What's happening?
I don't want to use this as an excuse, but I feel like, honestly, like, my childhood and what I've been through has a lot to play. Though, granted, I am an adult now, and I should handle my own things as an adult, but I do feel like that mentally, my mind, I'm still stuck in that 11-year-old mind frame.
What do you mean by that?
You have to tell her.
I was I was 11 years old, and my grandmother left me in the courtroom, and I feel like that has still scarred me. I'm that little boy that's still stuck in
His
that
life
courtroom.
changed after that day. He went to.
So you're
group
saying your grandmother had custody of you at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
And she gave up custody of you?
Yes, ma'am.
To who?
To the system.
Oh, to foster. So you were in foster
Yes,
care?
ma'am.
You went to foster care?
Yes, ma'am.
So since 11,
Yes, ma'am.
you were raised in foster care?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're saying that's caused a number of issues for you throughout your life. And have you ever sought any type of counseling or therapy?
No, ma'am. I mean, I get the little counseling and therapy that I did when I was in the group homes and foster homes, yes. But as far as me going and seek out help for my own, no, ma'am.
What do you have to say about that, Ms. Green?
That's why I wanted to work with him. That's why I looked past so many things. When he shared that with me, you know, it's hard to love a broken man, but I wanted to try. And I know that abandonment issues carry out into your adult life, and, you know, they cause you to make bad decisions. And I just wanted to give it a try. And I didn't realize how deep it was until I actually married him. And, you know, I didn't know his family.
Marriage is not one of those things that you I'm just going to give this a try,
Right.
Because your goal is to marry somebody, not save them. That's
Right.
not your job as a wife.
I know.
I appreciate your good heart, and I appreciate your good nature, but you'd be better off as trying to be a friend to someone than going into a marriage when there's a lot to unpack.
I asked for him to be drug tested today.
And did you
Yes,
agree
ma'am.
to that?
Yes, Your Honor.
I was really getting afraid of him just actually moving to the next step of actually cheating, and he did.
This is the person that you want to have a child with. Ms. Green, you are making a mistake. If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Miss the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content. Are you still using drugs now?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
When's the last time you used?
It's been a couple of months. It's been about
Do you believe him?
4 or 5. It's been some months.
I think our last little spat in March may have been, but I asked for him to be drug tested today.
You asked for him to be drug tested today, and did you
Yes,
agree
ma'am.
to that?
Yes, Your Honor. I took one.
I read something in your papers that is a little bit concerning to me now that I've heard all of this. You said you want Mr. Green to get his life together immediately for what? What is the main reason for you?
Well, when we got married last year, you know, we were going through a pandemic. We were suffering a lot of things in the world. And we had a friend that went to see someone in the hospital, and she couldn't do nothing because she was just a friend. She wasn't a wife. She wasn't a child's mother or anything. And that's kind of the basis. I'm like, baby, I don't want anything to happen to you out there, and I can't even go on the scene. I can't go check on you. We decided to lock in because of everything that was going on in the world. We wanted to be there for each other. And I didn't even want to know about his past. The only reason why I learned stuff is because his behavior started affecting the way we live. I didn't want to know nothing about his past.
You said that one of the reasons why you want him to clean up his life is for what?
So that we can prosper, so that we can have kids and have a family.
You want to have a child
Yes,
with Mr. Green.
yes.
And
Your Honor.
you're pressed about this right now.
I mean, I'm pressed for time at my age.
Ms. Green, you are making a mistake. You're in court today and you're telling me that all of these issues are happening in your relationship and Mr. Green has all of these addictions, but this is the person that you want to have a child with right now. Because bringing a child into this equation is not helpful. It is only going to compound all of the issues that the two of you are having. It's not going to fix anything. It's not going to solve anything, none of that. And the pressure that it will put on him will only heighten the issues that he's having because they haven't been addressed yet.
True.
It's because of the porn, and I was really like his night job, and I was really getting afraid of him just actually moving to the next step of actually cheating. And he did, you know what I'm saying? And we did have a situation. And I did give up. I totally tapped out on him, you know? But so many people just give up on people. I didn't want to be another person that abandoned him. I didn't. And
So moving past you feeling empathy for him and compassion because he has these addictions, he stepped out in the marriage, Mr. Green?
No, ma'am. This is what she feel like is cheating. If I get a phone number, if I even
So you did not cheat?
No, ma'am. I have not had any type of sexual nothing with any type of woman, no, since I've been married.
Okay.
But like I said, if she finds a text in my phone, I'm cheating. Though, granted, I'm not justifying or even saying that it's right, but I'm just saying that's what I did at the time. I regret that. I just want to say I do want to make my marriage work. I'm coming here today because I'm willing to work on these issues. I'm willing to tell the world about stuff that I have going on. So I want this to work. I really do. I love my wife with all my heart, but
I like the fact that you were here saying you want it to work, but in order for it to work, it has nothing to do with what you say. It has everything to do with what you do.
absolutely.
That's my advice to you, sir. Why do you say that he cheated when he's saying he didn't?
me and him got into it, and he did end up at a room with a female after a job. He was at the job.
You mean a
Red
hotel
Wolf,
room?
Yeah. I Googled
Is that
mapped-
true?
Yes, ma'am, I was. A
With who, Mr. Green?
A coworker, that's where she stayed. She had no, that's legit where she stayed.
Do you have
So-
do you have any evidence to support what you're saying, ma'am?
Yes, I submitted the evidence. I have the GPS where I had his email logged into my phone, and I was able to go to Google Maps to his location history. I have text from the female. Once I found out the number, I text her and I got all her information, her name.
So, Ms.
and-
Green, you did all this due diligence after you got married, but not before? So that's what you're saying?
Yeah, I was just.
Let me see the text messages. Okay. Who is in the gray and who's in the blue?
Okay, that is me in the blue, and I was pretending to be Robert so I could find out her name. So I downloaded a number like his, and I texted her like I was Robert because I wanted to know her name and her location and the room number. So I was.
So
acting
you're
like I was
pretending
Robert.
to be him, and you've decided to engage in an entrapment operation
Yeah,
to see if you could catch him doing something?
I did catch him. That's the girl, and that was her
So
name.
she says yes and gives the address to the location. You respond, this is you, not him, full name. She says the name of the hotel. You respond, thanks, bae. And she responds with her name. And then you ask for a room number, and she gives you the room number. Okay. And so you didn't go to the hotel? That wasn't you.
No, yes, ma'am. I admit I was at the hotel.
But you didn't do anything? Y'all just
no, ma'am.
talked?
What led me to the hotel is my wife. She ended up pushing this young lady. I don't know her name.
She came up to your job?
No, she,
No, we
she
were
worked
working
we worked
there
together.
Oh, you work at the assembly line too?
I was working there. I take some shifts on, but I found out why was I so hostile with the young lady?
So she got
Robert?
into an altercation. What happened?
Next time on Divorce Court.
If Robert is doing stuff when I'm not there, the females are gonna tell it.
You're saying that he's crossed the line. Who's your witness, sir?
My grandmother.
Robert needs to man up.
We have to stop telling our men to man up.
You cannot have no future if you cannot get over that hump of the past.
How old were you when you got into that industry?
17. He'll pay me to come there, have sex with his wife.
So you were in the underground porn industry?
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds more like sex trafficking to me. You need help, which is why I have asked a forensic mental health evaluator to speak to you today in court.
Stop running from the pain and deal with it before it deals with you.
I wanted to be somebody that was there if anything happened to him to speak up for me.
Those are not the reasons to marry someone.
Yeah, I know that.
And that's why you're here. I'd like to see the results of your drug test.
All right.
The results reveal you tested